during 2019 session. Another one of those programs is that funding for the troubled Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. The governor says he believes the General Assembly spending is, quote, reckless and would jeopardize the funding for programs he considers more important.
Legislature increased mandated spending by $7 billion this year and put us on a path to be $18.7 billion in debt over the next 5 years. And that's just not acceptable. It's not what the people of Maryland want.
Governor Hogan says he won't let any public safety or health concerns in the state of Maryland go unmet. It is now more expensive to buy a newly built home in Baltimore City. A property tax credit aimed at bringing more families to the city was allowed to lapse, and then this past Sunday it expired. WMAR 2 News investigative reporter Brian Kubler explains how that happened and what the impact could be.
Kitchen, dining room, living room, yep.
Brian Chance is a Baltimore home builder, standing in one of the 4 homes he has yet to sell as part of his Canton development named Brewers Green. It's brand new construction. 4 floors, garage, and sweeping views from several decks are the highlight, but his sales team was also pitching a long-standing property tax credit to ease the buyers in.
And you're in the middle of selling 12 houses in this row here.
Yes, exactly.
And you were advertising this credit.
Yes.
With good reason. The city property tax credit for newly constructed dwellings has been around since 1996. Buyers pay half of the property taxes the first year, and then it slowly expires over 5 years. It was re-upped by the state legislature every 3 to 5 years at the request of the city as the credit became more and more popular. In just more than 20 years, Baltimore City has handed out nearly 10,000 of these tax credits for new homes, totaling more than $40 million. As of June 30th, that long-standing tax credit was allowed to lapse, expire, much to the surprise of home builders and buyers.
Well, obviously they weren't happy, and we had to go back to the negotiating table and figure out how we were going to, help them still move forward with the purchase and give them a seller credit to help offset the cost of not having the credit.
So you as the builder are now taking a hit because the city allowed this tax credit to show?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know where the blame lies. I'm not going to blame anyone. But I understand that it didn't get passed in the legislature the last session. So we're trying to move forward to see what we can do to extend it.
Short of a special session, the answer to that, state lawmakers say, is not much.
We've been trying to scramble to see if there's anything we can do. I mean, the realistic answer is that it's probably not something we can take up until 2020.
Baltimore City State Senator Bill Ferguson says local tax credits that need state legislation are usually the responsibility of the city or county. In this case, it would be a failure of the Pugh administration not to call the state's attention to a credit that has fostered development in parts of downtown and West Baltimore for more than 2 decades. Ferguson said they were made aware of the issue too late to fix it.
Unfortunately, we didn't find out until second to last day of session, which would have been impossible. This is something that should have been on the radar, back in the fall of 2018, so that everyone could have conversations about it for a new piece of authorizing legislation this past session. We didn't hear a word.
Hopefully they figure something out soon.
Because in the meantime, builders like Brian Chance are having to shoulder some of that money. In addition to his development in Canton, there are these homes being built in Federal Hill and other developments around the city like this one getting underway in Brewers Hill. All of these homes designed with the idea of that tax credit in mind.
We're going to have to do something to offset the cost for the buyers to keep sales moving.
Keeping sales moving and hopefully builders building. In Baltimore, Brian Kubler, WMAR 2 News.
6:08 right now. This morning, a man is recovering after a close encounter with a lightning strike. It was yesterday afternoon during those storms. The man was at Patapsco Valley State Park. Now, he was in the Woodstock area near the Baltimore County-Howard County line, the Catonsville area. The man initially told police he wasn't sure whether he was directly struck by lightning. Later, firefighters learned the lightning bolt hit a tree near him. The force caused him to be thrown down a hill, certainly a close call. He's being treated at the hospital now for injuries that are described as serious. And there was also a house fire in Woodlawn caused by a lightning strike. Baltimore County fire crews were called to a duplex on Flannery Lane, right near Liberty Heights Avenue yesterday afternoon. It happened at about the same time as that lightning strike in Patapsco Valley State Park. This scene about 9 miles east of that. No one hurt in that house fire, but Lynette, some dangerous conditions in addition to the heat and humidity out there yesterday.
Exactly. And this morning we actually do have some lightning with this thunderstorm right here just to the north of us right now. We're going to continue to monitor this as we go through the rest of the morning around Mantua, around Sparks, Cockeysville. Some heavy rain. When you look at those reds, that's about 1 inch, 2 inches an hour coming in across the area. Let's zoom in a little bit more because once again around Mantua, around Big Spring, Dover, Jentsville, Schwann getting in on this as well. And then that heavy rain around Western Run this morning, even over towards Hunt Valley. Phoenix is getting in on this as well around Phoenix Road. And then our last stop takes us to a lighter rain, but steady around Jacksonville this morning, Sunnybrook, around Sweet Air, Manor Road. If you're on Blenheim Road as well, dealing with some heavier rain coming in. Plenty of moisture out there, dew points in the 70s, still quite muggy, sticky throughout the day, and it's still going to be on the hotter side of things. Megan Knight.
Okay, Lynette, and the major roads are looking really good for us this morning, like the Harrisburg Expressway, for example, here in Cockeysville, right at Warren Road. You can see southbound's looking good as you're making your way from Pennsylvania down towards 695. And once you get to 695, looking good in either direction, whether you're going towards 795 or maybe over towards 95. Here's a live look at the west side of the Beltway, traveling from 795 down towards 95. A nice, easy 9-minute commute there. If you're traveling 70 eastbound through Ellicott City, going from 29 over towards the Beltway, drive times in the green there, and no problems to report on 295, 97, and 195 if you're heading to BWI Airport this morning. Christian.
Thanks very much, Megan. We'll check back with you shortly. Independence Day is over, but thanks to Governor Hogan, there's a lot of people off work again today. Traffic is looking for people heading to the beach, and your best bet for avoiding those backups coming up. Plus, people were buying crabs by the bushel for the 4th of July. Now we're getting a better idea of how the harvest is looking for the rest of this summer. And California hit by its strongest earthquake in some 20 years, the extent of the damage and why communities could keep feeling the after effects for weeks. Those stories and more when we continue with Good Morning Maryland. 6:13 right now. Some top stories this morning. Extreme weather hitting many parts of the country overnight, including Maryland. One person died in South Carolina after being struck by lightning. 6 more hurt in that storm. In North Carolina, a house set on fire by another bolt of lightning. Severe weather fueled by extreme heat. Parts of the southeast felt like 100 degrees or more. Even in Alaska, it was 89 degrees yesterday, the highest temperature ever recorded in one part of the state. People in California could feel more aftershocks today after this 6.4 magnitude earthquake caught on camera with a number of people's home cameras there. Lasted about 10 seconds, centered in Ridgecrest. That's about 150 miles north of LA. No major damage or deaths have been reported. However, it did cause fires in one area and lots of minor damage in homes all over the place. Since yesterday, there's already been more than 100 aftershocks as well. And experts say those are going to keep happening for weeks, some of which could be quite strong. We will see. It has been a devastatingly expensive year for natural disasters already. The Wall Street Journal's reporting that AccuWeather is predicting that all that flooding in the Midwest, just that, could cost more than $12 billion, and that number could go higher since many communities are still tabulating the full extent of the damage. You can celebrate the 4th of July with steamed crabs. It's a tradition in Maryland, but the season is really just getting started. WMAR 2 News Disco Don Harrison got a look at how the harvest has been so far and how the crab population could impact your summer dining plans.
Maryland's little delicacy, blue crabs. Here's the easiest question you'll have to ponder over this holiday weekend.
Crabs? There's nothing else better in Maryland, is there?
Beth Pender works at Big Earl's Crabs on Kent Island, and it's a busy day for her and the crew.
2 o'clock, 1 dozen of extra larges.
Memorial Day may be the unofficial start of summer, but the 4th of July is the unofficial start of crab season.
Usually about 12:30, 1 o'clock we get going, and we don't stop until about 6.
Yeah, I think those are the extra large. So now we need a bushel of large, right?
Kyle Middleton comes from a family of watermen. He says it's been a rough start for crabs this summer.
They were a little slow. A lot of it, I think, was due to all the rain we've had this year. It's just been a very wet year.
So the crabs may have had a slow start this summer, but those who deal in crabs say that the rest of the summer should turn out just fine.
Yeah, right now all we're getting is pretty much 6-inch point to point and up. A lot of big, extra large, and jumbos. They fatten up. They're constantly eating and getting bigger every time they shed out.
The blue crab study that came out this week agrees. The study says the juvenile crabs that will grow to 5 inches and up by this fall should be 1 million more than average. That's a 33% increase from last year. And that's good news for all crab lovers.
Crabs are the biggest thing in the state of Maryland. Especially a holiday like this, it doesn't get any better than this. It's incredible, and people come from all over just to buy Maryland crabs.
Nothing better than family and crabs.
If you didn't get a chance to enjoy the sweet taste of steamed crabs with Old Bay on them this weekend, not to worry. Beth tells us of a little secret about our Chesapeake Bay blue crabs.
Usually the people don't realize the best time to buy a crab is after Labor Day. People think at Labor Day, that's it, we're done. But no, we go until the middle of October, so the prices go down, the crabs get bigger.
On Kent Island, Don Harrison, WMAR 2 News.
Yeah, they're starting to move further north in the Bay right now. Meantime, the fireworks are over, but the holiday weekend is in full swing. AAA expects 41 million Americans to hit the road sometime this week. A lot of them heading to the beach. This is a live look out at the toll booth there at the Bay Bridge. Traffic just starting to pick up this morning. Still a different scene from yesterday as the cars were heading out, already backed up by this time yesterday. Apparently everybody listened to the MDTA leaving before 6 on Thursday. If you're heading to the Eastern Shore today, try to get out before 7. So you got about 45 minutes or wait until after 7 tonight for the trip. The MDTA recommends leaving before 10 in the morning or 10 in the evening, Sunday or Monday. Try to get you home without too much frustration. And when you're backed up on the Bay Bridge, check out the license plates. You will see a lot of Virginia plates.
Yes.
Because those Virginia people just grind it. They just grin and bear it. You know, they just do it right at the busy times and just get there. And I'm telling you, it just packs up.
It was pretty wild, though, to see all those cars before 6 a.m.
You can't avoid it.
Imagine all the people who listened to MDTA and said to leave before 6 a.m. and then they got stuck in traffic. So.
Every year. And it's busy, and it's going to be busy coming back. I think especially Sunday.
Right.
Although some people, if they can wait till Monday, that'd be good too.
Right. Remember, stay on Route 50. You know, your GPS will try to take you all these little back roads.
Don't do it.
But just stay on 50.
It's tempting.
Yes, it is very tempting.
How's it going out there this morning, though? It's looking like a slow start. No, a lot of people off work today.
Yes, lots of people off work today, which is good news if you do have to work today, which I'm very sorry for. But we're going to start again with another look at the Bay Bridge there. Just in case you are getting ready to head out that way this morning, you can see not a whole lot of action going on there. So if you're going to the beach this morning, I am so jealous of you. I hope you have a really good weekend. Do have a couple of issues in Anne Arundel County, though, to tell you about. One is a fallen tree that is blocking both directions of Indian Landing Road in Millersville. This is right near Generals Highway. Still dealing with a crash in Lakeshore at Woods Road and Magathy Beach Road. If you're traveling the Fort McHenry Tunnel or the Harbor Tunnel, they're still looking good. Drive times in the green there, even with that long-term construction on 895. Now let's go check the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lynette Charles.
All right, Megan Knight, let's start you out this morning in Havre de Grace. In Havre de Grace, we do see some patchy fog going on across the area, and actually we can see a drop of rain on the camera this morning as well. So that's going to be the name of the game through much of the morning, and then we'll start to see some changes in the forecast for us. Now, if you're not a fan of the thunderstorms, then it's a good thing, especially them turning severe, that we have the clouds out there and that we actually did have those thunderstorms this morning in some spots, because that could cut down on the severe weather as we go into the afternoon. As we move through the rest of today, this afternoon, we're going to stay on the muggy side, the sticky side, the miserable side of things for a lot of you. So just remember that, and also remember that temperatures are well above average once again this morning. Look at these numbers in the 70s. It's 74 degrees in Highlandtown, Dundalk's at 74. Overly, good morning to you, and Garrison coming in at 73 degrees. We're seeing that in Lutherville, Edgewood, Kearney. Owings Mills is at 73 degrees right now. Columbia, Chesapeake City, and even around Elkton. Millington's at 75 around Centerville this morning, Goldsboro. As we move through the rest of today, these temperatures will be in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. If we get more sunshine, oh yeah, we will see those 90s today. But if those clouds really try to hang tough throughout the day, I think maybe we could be in the upper 80s. We'll see how that goes. I think that southerly flow will still just push us over towards the 90s. So with that, we'll still be in the heat wave. This is what it looks like as we zoom in. So we did have a thunderstorm that is now weakened a bit as it moves off to the north. So Verona still getting in on some heavier rain around Belfast Road this morning. Coopersville also seeing this. This will continue to drift on off to the north. And after that happens, we should be mainly dry out there. And then again, sunshine. And with the sunshine, oh yeah, it's really going to heat things up. That humidity is going to be unbearable for a lot of people as we go into the afternoon. It will feel more like we are in the mid to upper 90s today. In some areas, again, if we get some sunshine out there really in full force, it'll feel like the triple digits. So for today, not dealing with any type of severe weather, but by tomorrow, that comes back. And the Storm Prediction Center does have us in a marginal risk on a scale of 1 to 5. We are in a 1. The biggest threat for tomorrow, if we do see that severe weather, will be damaging gusty winds. Here's that 7-day forecast for you, as let's hope that we break the heat wave a little bit sooner. If not, it breaks as we head towards your Sunday. 80s on Monday and Tuesday, and then the 90s, Christian, return. We can't get rid of those things.
Boy, it looks hot out there. Thanks very much.